Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Zaitun Komalasari. Today I want to explain about an example of social issue that exists in Indonesia. One of the example of social issue in Indonesia is about crime. Crime news is indeed familiar to us to hear every day. But do you know what is the definition about crime? Crime is social action carried out by an individual or group of individuals whose purpose is to seek profit alone without regard to the consequence received from the actions. The examples are stealing other people's belongings and mugging in a quiet place. Indonesia is a country with a high crime rate. In the 23rd week of 2020, the crime rate in Indonesia increased by 16.16% from before. Then, in the 24th week, it increased again by 38.45% in just a week. The total cases that have been obtained are 5,476 cases to date. According to sociologist and customary law expert Sorjono Soekarno, a social problem is a discrepancy between elements of culture or society which endangers the lives of social groups. Actually, what are the factors behind the occurrence of criminal act in Indonesia? Do you know? Crime that occurs is usually caused by the high unemployment rate in Indonesia. First factor is the high population growth that makes many people despair because of the narrowness of the available job opportunities. Then the way they take to make ends meet is by committing criminal acts such as stealing and committing other crimes. The second is the high unemployment rate. The many tribes and customs that exist in Indonesian trigger conflicts that can lead to criminal acts. In certain tribes, there are usually things that are considered good and scared, which are considered incorrect by other tribes. The clash of these two assumptions can lead to ethnic conflict, which can sometimes lead to criminal act. Moreover, if there are irresponsible people who provocate the two cultures, as in the case of the riots in Sampit between the Maduras and Kalimantan people. Third factor is difference in culture distribution also have an effect on triggering criminal act. The distribution of culture from outside our country doesn't always have a positive impact when applied in our country. For example, in Western culture, it has become commonplace when a woman dresses openly. But when this culture is applied in our country, it is often considered worthless and can even trigger criminal acts such as rape. Fourth is the another factor is also caused by the number of teenagers who are always mentally immature or are said to be still unstable. It can also be caused by parents who are wrong in educating their children. As parents, providing understanding, education, and supervision to children is very important to do. In addition to factor, the motivate or impulses from within the preparation themselves to commit criminal act. For example, to satisfy the tendency of greed, increased aggressiveness, and sexual drive, there is inner conflict itself and then use the mechanism of escape and irritational self-defense. Okay, from that we can conclude such is the social problem that is happening in Indonesia today If the crime rate continues to increase, then what happens is a devastation within the country that has a direct impact on these people. For this reason, efforts to hack crime and reduce crime rates are very important. This effort can be done in several ways, namely implementing the family planning program, giving each other enough love in a family, providing people education and supervision to children in a family. I think it's enough for me. Assalamualaikum